Morning, everyone. Welcome to Northern Arizona. It is chilly out here today in Prescott. We're a little over a mile high, so got double layers going on here just to stay warm. The other week, I did a quick little video on YouTube regarding 360 panos and the role they could play with some of the projects that you work on. I wanted to follow that up because I did get a couple of requests, both in comments and also private requests from folks. Thanks for tuning in and asking your questions. So today we're going to go through the creation of a 360 panoramic with the DJI Go 4 app, and we're going to use their Pano mode. Then we're going to take it back inside, we're going to throw it on the computer, we're going to play around with it a little bit, and we're going to add that 360 Pano to a WordPress website. So I'm taking you start to finish. We're going to produce the Pano out here, and then we're going to get that Pano actually onto a page, onto a website very easily, pretty quickly. This is still going to be a little longer because we do have to walk through the upload and everything on the computer side. So with all that said, I'm going to step back and we're going to start looking at the drone screen here, which I'm also recording as we get this set up and get our 360 pano shot. So I'm going to step back just a little bit here, and I'm just moving out of the way of where the drone is at. So on screen right now, you can see that I'm just in the regular photography mode. And let's go ahead and launch the drone, shall we? So getting the drone off the ground really quick, and I thought we could also pop the drone right into the video here. So, all right, let's get the drone up and in the air, and there it goes. All right, so I'm going to be getting this up to, probably 150 to 200 feet. And let's see, we're seeing the Pointer Rocks campground area here, and I think 200 feet will be good. I am nearby an airport, so I did put in my LANC request this morning, the Low Altitude Authorization and Notification System. So I set up for up to an hour of flight time. So when I'm done flying, I might just have a little more fun once we're done with the video. So taking a look up at where the drone is, it's within my visual line of sight. And I'm just bringing it over toward these rock formations, and I'm actually going to move it over a bit as well. So you're seeing that drone flight on the screen. All right, I think right about over here is where I want to get started from. And I'm actually going to turn the drone slightly. All right, there we go. So now on the DJI Go 4 app down here on the lower right, we have our settings. So I put this on full auto to let the DJI app take control and make its decisions about exposure for this 360 pano. The next thing I'm going to do is the middle button. That's our little camera button. We're going to hit photo. I'm going to drop down to pano. I'm going to say OK to that. And right now we are on a spherical pano. See that right there at the bottom where it says sphere? I'm going to go ahead and close this menu by clicking on those little sliders. And now you'll see that the capture photo button actually has a little globe in it. So that is the DJI mode for shooting the 360 pano. So with that said, and with me pointing off in a direction, I'm going to go ahead and start the pano up. So the pano is now going. I see the drone right up and over here, and it's going to do 360 view here, taking images and then combining them together. So we've got the drone in line of sight. You always do really want to have the drone in line of sight. All right, so let's see, where's the drone at? So it's saying it's 28% done, 30% done. As you see on the screen, it is moving around and taking shots. So the DJI Go 4 app's new version for panos and the 360 panos for the Mavic 2 Pro is pretty awesome because the Mavic 2 Pro's gimbal can tilt upward as well. So that brings us a little more when we're doing these. We're still in pano mode. We're at 52%, and it should be just about done. There we go. So now you see it going all the way up to 100%, and it is good. It is finished. So I actually did a couple of additional panos this morning, but the recording on my iPhone did not work out. So recording the Go 4 app itself had some problems. So that's why I'm back out here doing this one again. So I'm bringing the drone back down. We got our pano done, which was really quick. And now I'm just bringing it in for a landing, and then we're going to take a look back on that screen once again. All right, so the drone's looking good. Here it comes right now, and now let's bring it back to me. And I always like to take a step back when the drone's nearby. You don't want to be right up on it when you're landing it. There we go. And setting right down on that helipad. Perfect. Looks really good. So the next thing that I'm going to do here, so I've got the drone back on the helipad. Down in the lower right-hand corner, we have what's looking like a cute little play button. So I'm going to hit that play button, and you can see the other panos that I did this morning. The pano on the furthest left here, 1217 to 2018, does not have a little checkbox up in the upper right-hand side. So I'm going to click on that, and I am going to download that onto my phone. So just waiting for it to do that job for me real quick. So there we go. We got our little spinning planet, but now I'm going to hit the download button. And from the download file, that is going to put the actual pano onto my phone. So I don't even need to do assembly of the pano with PT GUI when I get inside. It's already being done for me by the DJI Go 4 app. So this is a nice little advance compared to how I used to have to do it with the original Mavic Pro. All right, so that is all done. I could also share that onto Instagram or other platforms if I want to with the share button in the upper right corner. I'm not going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and arrow back instead. And as you can see now on our play area, there is a little green checkbox on that latest pano. So with all that said and done, we've done our flight, we've captured our pano. Now we're going to take everything back inside the Airstream, and we're going to get this uploaded to a website where people can actually view it and enjoy the 360 pano. All right, we'll see you inside back at the computer. All right, so here we are back inside, much warmer than being outside, and I've offloaded the images from my phone. So in the last segment, we actually saved several of the panos to my phone. So I connected the phone up to the iMac, and I used a program called iMazing, and I just pulled those images right off. Now, let's take a look really quick. I'm going to take a look at image 753. This is one I'd done earlier prior to the video that you just saw. I had done it earlier in the morning, but I had an audio problem. So I wanted to show this one to you because I really dig the sunrise here. And so you can tell that this is set up for a 360 pano. One of the interesting things that the DJI Go 4 app does when it puts it together for you is it actually fills in the top of the sky. So the area where the gimbal couldn't tilt all the way up is up in here where I'm clicking right now. And this area normally you're going to have to fill in afterward. But with the DJI Go 4 app's automatic 360 pano mode, it does a nice blend for you, so it works pretty well. Now, you can enhance the images, so I could actually take this image and I could drag it into Photoshop, or I could drag it into Skylum's Luminar, and I can make some enhancements to it. As a matter of fact, I already did that, so let's take a look. I'm just double-clicking this one. So I punched it up a little bit is all I did with Luminar, and I like the results. We've got some deeper blues, and the colors are really popping. What's really cool about this, I'm quitting the preview, and I'm going to grab that JPEG, and I'm going to throw it into Photoshop really quick. And the reason I'm throwing it into Photoshop is because Photoshop has some 3D features, and it also has a 360 panorama feature. So I'm just pulling this over, and actually I'm going to shrink the screen a little bit because my screen sizes are different between my iMac and my additional monitor. So there we go. This is what the 360 pano looks like after it's come out of the Go 4 app and then had a slight amount of editing with Luminar. Now, if I go up to the 3D view, I can go to
a spherical panorama, and I can do a new panorama from the selected layer. So this is pretty cool because I can give myself a little self-check here to see how this thing came out. And as you can see, it's changed the view, and I can actually look around that panorama. I can look down, I can look up, and we even see where the sky was added in by the Go 4 app. So this is looking pretty nice. I'm enjoying the colors. It was very early morning, shortly after the sun just peeked over the mountains near Watson Lake. So you can see Watson Lake out here. So this one's looking pretty good to me. And I'm going to go ahead and close this really quick because I'm in that 3D setup there in the 360 setup. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to grab this one again, and I'm going to throw it into Photoshop. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. You're going to need some kind of editing program to resize the final image so that you're not uploading something huge. In the case of this JPEG right now, I think it was 43 megs. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 44.3 megs. That's a little too big to put up on the website and a little too big to expect people to wait for that to load. So I'm just going to go into my image size here. And right now we're 8,192 pixels by 4,096 pixels. And I want this to be 72 dpi. So that is looking correct to me. I'm going to change this to 4096 and say OK to that. So there we go. Still looking all right to me. So we haven't damaged this. I'm going to go up here and do a save as. And I'm actually going to rename this Photoshop Sunrise. There we go. And I'm popping it into my folder that I have for this particular 360. Now I'm going to save that as a JPEG. And let's see here. So we've got my JPEG options that popped up here. So we're going to go with high quality. I'm going to say OK to that. And let's minimize this. And let's take a look here. So now this file is down to 2.1 megabytes. This is still a little too big for my liking. So I'm going to go back here. And we are going to do that save as one more time. And let me see. Photoshop Sunrise. There we go. I'm going to say save to it. I'm going to replace it, and maybe we'll take it down to medium. We'll do that at 6. We'll see what this looks like. So this is where you're going to play around with it afterward to appropriately size it. So let me see. Photoshop Sunrise, 1.4 megabytes. I'm fairly satisfied with that. So we've got our edited one that's ready to go. So the next step is going to be to throw that up onto a WordPress website. Before we do that, I just wanted to show you a couple of the other ones that we had. Let's see here. So we did a Luminar enhanced one here, but let me just open another one of these. So I did several, and we can see the difference in this one. So this one I think was done for our flight. I can close my preview window really quickly and see. So that was at 9:59 a.m. So that was in fact our flight time. I did do a couple others early morning as well. So we've got another really pretty sunrise here. As you can tell, this one hasn't been edited at all. So I could throw that into Photoshop or into Luminar, enhance it a little more, and then save it for web. So I'm just going to close that one, and let's take a look at one more. And this one's even a little brighter than the last one. So, all right, we're going to close that one really quick because there is one additional one that I'd like to do a little something else with. Sorry, I'm just looking at a second screen that you can't see. And all right, we're going to take this one and we're going to do something with it. And the reason we're doing something with it is because there I am. This one was really low and really close. And with that in mind, we can have one where we actually feature a person in it. So I am going to drag this down to Photoshop. Photoshop's going to pop that one open. I'm going to close the earlier one. And so we could once again go into the 3D spherical panorama if we're using Photoshop just to check it out. I'm not going to do that here. So I'm just going to go with it the way it is. We're not going to do any enhancements at all. But I am going to do a file save as, and we're going to say rich in Pano. and we'll save it as a JPEG. We're going to do save, and maybe this one I can do on high. Let's say OK to that, and let's minimize it, and we'll see. So rich in Pano. Wow, that's a little too big, 6 megabytes. I probably should have taken a look at the size first. So let's look at the image size, and let's go to 4096 by 2048, 72 dpi, because we're doing this for screen, not for print. Say OK to that, and save as one more time. And I'm just going to use that same name, Rich in Pano. Save it, hit the replace, say OK, and let's take a look at the size of that one now. Okay, Rich in Pano, 1.5 megabytes, and the Photoshop Sunrise is 1.4 megabytes. Not terrible. We could still get them smaller, but we're not going to spend time on that right now because I don't want to hold you over too long. All right, I'm going to pause this for a moment. I'm going to log into azdrone.net, and we're going to set these up on my WordPress website, azdrone.net. Okay, so I've logged into azdrone.net, and now what I'm doing is I'm jumping down to Slider Revolution. So this is one of the tools that I use to embed 360s, 360 panos into a website. I'm going to go ahead and close that one, and we're going to make a new slider. Now, there are a lot of tools out there for embedding 360 panos into websites. I personally like Slider Revolution for some of the slideshows that I've done with it. But there are other tools out there, so if you're looking for tools for WordPress or other sites, you can take a look around the web. You can do WordPress 360 Panorama embeds, and you're going to find several tools that do it. So we're making the new slider, and I want to do some slide settings. So this is going to be down in the title and shortcode. Let me see here. How about 360 Pano WP demo, and let's copy that, Control C, and we're going to paste that again, so there we go. And now I'm going to look down at the slide layout, and right here we're going to do 4096 by, what was that, 2048, I believe? I think so. So 4096 by 2048. That is the size for doing these 360 panos. So I'm going to go down here, hit respect aspect ratio as well, and scrolling back up to the top, I need to go down and add that this is going to be a panorama. So we're going to enable the Panorama add-on. So this is an add-on to Slider Revolution. And then I can also turn on autoplay, and I can change the speed of it later, so we can play around with that after. I can also turn the zoom settings on and off. Now that I've done my initial setup with Slider Revolution, I know this was really quick, so go back through, pause it, and see the settings. So I'm going to save that. And the new slideshow has been saved. So I'm going to add some bulk slides because I want to pick more than one. And I'm going to select my files, and now I'm going to go into my Final Cut, my 360 Pano for web, and let's find those that we name. So there we go. The photo sunrise, we'll do that one first. So I'm going to say open to it, and now it's getting it in there. So this is my media library on WordPress if you're unfamiliar with WordPress. And I'm just waiting for it to finish its load. There we go. Now I'm going to insert that into my slideshow, and it told me slide is created. So there it is right there. I'm going to take slide number 1 and delete it because that was just a blank one, and they always give you a blank one there. So we're just waiting for it. There we go. So now we've got our single one. So now with the single one, we're here in the slide editor. And in the slide editor screen, we've got a bunch of buttons here, but over on to the right, we have an add-on button where we can add the panorama. I'm going to go ahead and enable that, and I've got it on autoplay as well, so it's going to start spinning immediately. With this set up, I'm going to go ahead and save the slide. And what's really nice in the Slider Revolution plugin is I can do a preview of this as well. So I hit the preview button. Now I'm just waiting for the preview to come up. So there it is. It's spinning for me, the 360-degree Pano. I can change the speed, the timing of it, or I could even have it not auto rotate. As you saw, it faded back to the beginning because my timers aren't exactly perfect right now. So this is one of the things that you'll have to go through and play with. So we could turn the zoom settings on and off, and this becomes a matter of your personal preference. I'm just hitting save just in case. And I can go back to the slider settings, and to slow that down so that it doesn't keep refreshing it, what I can do is I can actually go under general settings, under defaults. So this slide duration is 9 seconds right now. So let's do it 15, 1, 2, 3. So 15 seconds now. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And the second thing that we can do, I'm going to go back to that slide editor now that we've saved. We're going to add a second slide. So we could have multiple 360 Panos in the same viewer. Usually I don't want to do that, but for the sake of this lesson, I just wanted to show you. So here we go, rich in Pano. I'm going to open that one as well. And we're just waiting for it to finish out. I'm going to hit the insert button on that. And there we go. We've got the second slide, and that's the rich in Pano slide. I'm going to go ahead and click on that one so that I can tell it that it is a Pano as well. So right over here on the right-hand side, add-ons, Panorama, enable that, and we've got autoplay. Now I'm going to hit save one more time, and let's do that preview really quick. So there we go, and that's the rich in the Pano. There I am down there with the helipad. So it still hasn't fully resolved yet, and it usually takes a moment to get that full download. But this gives you the idea. Okay, and now it's flipped back again, so I'm going to close this one. So now we've got 2 slides ready to go. From here, we can make a decision to make a new post, so we could actually do a blog post and include this slider and this 360 Pano, or we could make a page that would do the same. I'm actually going to go and add an entirely new page just for demonstration purposes for you. So this is building a new page in WordPress, and let's call this 360 YouTube demo. So I'm just giving it a name, and over here you don't really need to pay attention to this part. I'm going to put that under my drone services. So I'm not going to give you an entire lesson on how to use WordPress and the X theme to build pages. I just want to show you whatever page builder you're using, you can very quickly create a page and add these 360 Panos in. So now I'm going to my X theme editor, and X theme is a very powerful tool for WordPress. I've been using it for years to create very customized pages, and I've enjoyed it the whole time, but you don't need to use this in order to display your slideshows. I'm doing it just because this is the tool that I have available on this particular website. So I'm just looking for a slider in here. There we go, Classic Revolution slider. And now I can pick which one I want to use. So 360 Pano demo. I think that's the right one. And I'm going to hit save over here. And then we can actually give the page a quick view. So it's saved. Let's take a look and see what we've got here. And there it is. So that is the Pano that was made early this morning that includes the really nice sunrise. So you can see everything around Point of Rocks, the Granite Dells, and Watson and Willow Lakes. So this is going at a pretty good clip. Up, and there's the second one, so it'll rotate between these. Normally when I do these 360 Panos, I only include one at a time in the slider. Let's look down here. There I am standing next to the helipad. Not bad looking at all. And there's the second one, and I'm just going to go ahead and whip it around there. And there's our sun flares that are all natural coming over the coming over the mountains. There was no adding that flare in there, nothing like that in Luminar. That is exactly the scene. So there you go. That's how easy it is to actually add a 360 pano. Now, if you're not using Slider Revolution and that add-on, that is okay. There are many other tools out there. Like I said, if you go to wordpress.org and look under their plugins and put in 360 Panorama, you're going to find several of them. Like I said, I really like Slider Revolution, and I use it for a lot more than just 360 panos. So that's why I have it on my website. As a matter of fact, I'm going to save this page, grab this link, and I will include this link on the video notes here on YouTube. So when you scroll down, I'll actually have the link so you can come look at it. So I will leave this page up as it is for you to check out. One of the things that's really cool with the X theme is that I could even put this in a smaller column. So this doesn't have to take up the whole screen is what I'm saying. And you could actually put multiple sliders and multiple columns using the X theme in WordPress, or several other themes that are available out there as well. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up and put this video together for you. So I hope that answers the questions from those of you who said you'd like to see more about getting your 360 panorama actually onto the web. And there are a lot of other tools out there that you can upload 360 panos to. It's not just WordPress, but if you're running your own website and you'd like to embed some of your 360 work to show to potential clients, this is one way to do it. By the way, right here in front of you, that's my Airstream with all the solar set up on it. So that is the portable studio, and that's where I'm recording this video right now. All right, everyone, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. And I really do hope that this got all of your questions answered. If you have any other questions about embedding 360s into websites, be sure to leave a note in the comments below. We'll see you on the next video.